There we go. Now we're back up and connected.
Okay,
Sorry,
let's see.
everybody, for the technical issues. We're back up, everybody. We are back in time.
Okay, yeah, it's showing as a new stream, so we'll just
Yeah,
have to add a part two to
it
that
just
later.
wouldn't reconnect, so I had to physically end the stream and then restart the stream.
Okay, I'll post that to Twitter real quick.
You do that. We'll give people a second to come back in if they want to, because they might not want to. Oh, good lord. God fucking damn it. All right.
Okay, I have posted the links. Let me retweet that on my Twitter real quick.
Now you do that, bud.
Live, everybody.
We're live. That's what happens when you're live.
Done.
Give people a second if they want. Uh, so overall, you like GCPD?
Yeah, GCPD The Blue Wall is pretty good. I would recommend checking it out.
Nice. Hey, guess what we both read?
What did we both read?
World's Finest.
So yeah, book of the fucking week. Book of the fucking week. I'm so happy we have two writers at DC who understand Supergirl.
Uh, and she's fun. She's sassy. What should we
Yeah.
do with them? I don't know. Put them in an orphanage.
Oh my god, that panel went viral, and I saw it before I got to read the actual issue, but I just fucking loved it. And the bit where she pulls what's his name, Rick, Jonathan, something like that.
Yeah.
Where she pulls the Thunder Boy, I think is what they're
Boy
calling him in this
Thunder.
picture. Boy Thunder. She pulls Boy Thunder aside and she's like, "Yo, you have survival skill. You have survivor skill. I know something about that. If you want to talk, maybe we should talk." And he's like, "I'm fine." She's like, "Yeah, I've been there. You'll want to talk in a little bit. It's okay." And I'm like,
And
"That's fucking Supergirl. Let's go."
and like the hints of like, oh, his story is not completely told yet.
Yeah.
Something
Uh,
with fucky.
hmm and also just like the little bit beforehand where where they're in the Batcave and Batman's like, "So did Supergirl apologize to you?" And Dick goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "So she's right over there. Do you want to go talk to her again?" And he's like, "And say what?" "I don't know. What are you doing on Saturday?" And he's like, "Dad, I don't like her like that." That was perfect.
God damn it. Come on. Come on, if they have more human connections, they won't turn on us.
Yeah.
That's what a hack would do.
No, that's just a dad wanting his son to be happy and going, "Oh, she's a cute blonde his age. That could work."
They see they're bickering in a fun way.
Yeah, I could. I I did that with Talia. Why wouldn't it work for you?
God damn, the stories I could tell about me and Talia. But also my good friend that was there the whole time too. He was a
Um,
bro.
yeah, until he wasn't, and then we cast him out into the desert, and then he came back as a supervillain years later. It was crazy.
But now it's kind of implied that he's a little anti-hero. It's weird.
Yeah.
We'll get to
I didn't.
that.
I didn't read that. Did you?
The Knight?
No, Batman Incorporated.
No.
Okay,
I'm
because
talking about the Knight, what happens in the Knight.
I know you are, but then you said he's a little bit anti-hero, and I was like, Chris, did you read the first issue of the new Batman Incorporated?
No, I'm just more saying like He came back and helped.
Okay, yeah.
He's not an
Uh,
asshole.
but no, this book is goated. Fucking Dan Moore's art is always just so good. I love his interpretation of the Fab Five, and getting to see their interplay a little bit at the beginning. This was such a good issue.
Yeah, good shit. All right, button's not working. Click it. You
Yeah.
read The Flash, number 787.
Yeah, so this is a really fun, really goofy issue. But in like I kind of remember what wrestling is kind of way. Like this is not do a power bomb. This is I watched wrestling as a kid in the 80s kind of homage, which is still fun. It's very well done. And I would recommend it to people, but like if you're a hardcore modern wrestling fan, you're gonna roll your eyes at this a couple times.
Because I'm looking at this man. This man is Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he's literally Hulk Hogan. Like he calls everyone bro. He's just a space Hulk Hogan. Like literally what happens is one morning Wally and his kids are channel surfing and they find there's a mysterious new channel that's broadcasting this intergalactic interdimensional wrestling promotion. And then as they're watching, they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then Linda comes up and she's like, "What are you guys watching? This looks really violent." She does the mom thing. She's like, "This looks really violent. What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh no, it's fun. It's wacky." And I used to watch this. And Wally's like, "I used to watch this stuff when I was a kid. Don't worry, it's all fake. They planned this." And then she's like, "Wait, isn't that downtown?" And then there's a beat, and then Wally just goes, "Oh shit," and runs out the door. Uh, and then he shows up and he accidentally beats the guy that Purple Man is, or that one. There's a match going on. Wally accidentally wins the match because he thinks he's stopping two super criminals, and then they're like, "All right, great, we're gonna put you in a tag match with the world champion next." And then the purple Hulk Hogan guy beams down. And he starts explaining the rules to Wally, and Wally's like, "No, you don't understand. You're gonna fuck up my city." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, dude. We have cleaner robots. They're gonna come in after we're done. It'll be fine. We've done this a million times." He's like, "Seriously? Yeah, don't worry about it." He's like, "Okay, well, I guess." And he's like, "Dude, you seem stressed. Is everything okay?" And Wally goes, "Oh shit, not really. You know, there was a fucking crisis last week, and I'm well, my whole family has superpowers now, and I have superpower duties, and I have a job, and I have kids now, and my life is fucking crazy, and I never have any time for myself." And he's like, "Well, it sounds like you need a fucking hobby. And wrestling?" And Wally's like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do wrestling today." And then they fight another tag team, and it's a big, fun, goofy action sequence. There's some cool explanation of like, how is this allowed to exist? What wouldn't the Green Lantern Corps get mad at them? They've literally been dodging the Green Lantern Corps for centuries.
So they're carny assholes.
Yeah, they are carny assholes. And this guy, the purple guy, doesn't even know what planet he's on. He's like, "Well, this is Sector 2814. The Guardians kind of tend to get pissy about this place sometimes." And he's like, "Wait, 2814? You guys have the Kryptonian here. Oh, man, I'd love to wrestle him."
So are they like genuine? Like there's no like secret twist of the cleaner bots, or like, oh, they're gonna vaporize everything?
Nope, they're just goofy, carny motherfuckers. And Wally gets to have fun for a day, and then at the end he's like, "Oh man, this was really nice. I'm gonna miss you." Whatever the purple guy's name was, and he's like, "Yeah, well, don't worry, we'll see each other again. We've got to defend our new tag championship, right?" And that's like a beat for them to revisit this character at some point down the line they want to. And then Wally goes home to his family, and he's like, "You know, it was nice to have a day to myself, but man, I love being a family man." And it's just a nice little one and done.
All right, that's cute enough.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought there was gonna be some like weird twist of like, oh no, by the way, we're just fucking weirdo Lobo.
Yeah, no.
So we got Moon Knight issue 16 by McKay.
All right, what's going on?
Moon Knight holds a diplomatic meeting with the vampires of Chinatown.
Okay.
And basically, the leaders of the vampires of Chinatown is this ancient Chinese vampire, female assassin.
Does she go, "Let me tell you an ancient Chinese secret"?
No, she basically goes like, "I've been around longer than Dracula."
Oh.
You want to know why? You want to know how? Easy. I try to keep up with the time so I don't go insane.
And she pulls out an iPhone and starts making a TikTok.
No, it's more of like, I understand that if we hold to ourselves and sequester ourselves in our own little places, we will go insane with power and immortality. But if we try to integrate with humanity and learn from them and keep with them, that while we eat them, that we are less likely to go insane. And right now things are stable, and I don't want to rock the boat, because if I do, the vampire you are trying to get will alert the person who turned me into a vampire that I'm still around, and they'll come after me and basically destroy New York. And we don't want that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And Moon Knight goes like, agreed. So here's the thing. I want to kind of hold a truce, because you're not hurting anything, technically. You're trying to, like, keep on the good side of things. And the guy we're fighting is evil. We both don't like him. Yeah, we both don't like him. Okay, cool. So basically, I just kind of want your permission to fight and kill him and make sure we're all on the same level. And she's like, all right, cool, but he's really strong and he can make a lot more vampires real quick. So what's your plan? And Moon Knight goes like, I have someone who will help me out. And and he's talking about Hunter Moon. All the while, the B plot is Hunter Moon gets ambushed by the vampires they're talking about fighting. The group, the cult, the MLM. And while there's no like definitive, like, you see a dead body, he is beaten and bruised with like 1,000 things stabbed into him.
Jesus.
And someone walks up and goes like, you're fucking done. And you just see a panel of like the rooftop from down below, and you just see bang. And it's just like, oh no, Mark, what? Oh no, things have gone off the rails quite easily, and you don't even know.
Mm-hmm. So do you think he's actually dead? Do you think
No.
McKay killed his character?
No. Remember, Khonshu's a god of death. He's just go like, hey, you fucking better now. You're a zombie now. And now he has to deal... Oh, I know what's gonna happen.
What's up?
Because Hunter Moon was like, all like, why are you working with vampires? That's what not what Khonshu would want. They're gonna, like, Soldier and his assistant are gonna turn him into a vampire, and he's gonna be like, the fuck? Vampire! Because you would have died. But now I'm a vampire! I can't be a fucking worshiper of Khonshu now. Who says? Khonshu!
And then Khonshu just walks in like a robe with a sippy cup, and he's like, I'm cool with it.
Bitch, I'm a vampire. So yeah, Moon Knight, good. Moon Knight, good.
Nice.
It's definitely a setup for the next issue. For the finale of the arc.
Ooh.
But I also read Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. I hate what I always see about when I think about vampires. Yeah. The vampires in Marvel are fucking weird.
Yeah.
There was a time where there weren't any. And then they came back.
As you do.
And there's currently a sovereign nation of vampires in Chernobyl.
Wow.
Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
But yeah, I dropped Shang-Chi this week just because there was a lot I wanted to read this week, and I just kind of looked at this cover and I just went, I have nothing against this book, but I'd just rather not this week. So I'll come back to. I'll read the entire Jean Louis Yang Shang-Chi saga at some point in the future when it's all over. Now's not the time.
Yeah. So what basically happens is, you know how those ancient Chinese like gods were going like, yeah, we need to actually have someone who can prove to be worthy of the Ten Rings.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that. They basically kidnapped 10 cool people, 10 cool martial arts characters Marvel has in their repertoire, and they're basically doing Bruce Lee Game of Death.
Okay.
So
they're in the tuning exams.
Yeah, it's a tournament arc. So like a bunch of people are there and they're fighting. They each get 1 ring apiece. And if you beat your opponent, you get their ring, and every time
It's fucking O's.
someone falls, they go up a step. So there's this fun moment where like 4 people fall and they have to go up to the next story of the building, and like 2 guys are fighting in tooth and nail, and then the ladder shows up and goes like, you must ascend, and they just go like, all right, when we get up there, we're gonna fucking kill each other, and they just both calmly walk up the stairs. But it's just fun big martial arts stuff.
Nice.
It's a good big martial arts book, which is what you kind of want for Shang-Chi.
And it is drawn well, right? Like,
yeah,
you can actually track the fights and whatnot.
Yeah, good fights.
Cool.
We both read, however, Chip Zdarsky's Public Domain.
Yeah, this issue fucks.
This issue fucks.
This is so good. Like, I cannot believe the complete, like, logical ass pull he has in this of the weird nerd who just seemed like he was there as a gag to remind you of nerd culture. Turned out to be like a fucking godsend for these people.
Turns out to be a fucking bro, too. It's just like, yo, you're doing comics? I want to help.
Yeah, and he's secretly rich, and he builds them a new studio, and it's awesome. And like, I know some people who have made apps like that, and it's very unrealistic, but it works for this story, so who cares?
Yeah, it worked because here's the thing. It's not unlimited money. He's not saying like, oh, you have years to do whatever you want. He's like, I can help you out for a year. That's it.
Yeah.
You have to like be in the black by then. And they're all talking.
You can almost see them doing it because, like, clearly, there's some imposter syndrome. The lady wannabe comic writer has some good ideas, and seems like the brother's kind of coming along. And tattoo artist brother is a surprisingly great artist.
What I love about it is it's kind of more of like he's an inker. Which it's like, okay, I have a feeling that the brother's not going to be the writer. He's going to be an editor. Because, like, he is so anal retentive about things, and he's been so dismissive about comic book writing that I have a feeling his shit will just not flow and be good, but he'll be able to point out problems in other things.
Yeah, what's also interesting is, like, apparently this is the final issue of Volume 1. Not that the series is going to take a break or anything, but the first trade is about to come out. And apparently Zdarsky has plans for this to go for a while, which I think is really interesting. Like, this might...
Is this going to be the American Bakuman?
I was about to say that! I think that's what's happening, and I'm kind of hype.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun. But, like, think about it. If the Glasses Gambling brother is more the editor, you have all 5 parts of a comic book publishing team. You have the money, the writer, the artist, the inker, and the editor.
The original creator is there, bringing his approval.
Yeah,
and I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with the other writer and how he's like gonna make his own domain comics at the company, which I can just imagine the furor, the like discussion that would happen on message boards in the face of this, of like, what, they're canceling the current run of Domain? Fucking so-and-so's getting kicked off the book because the original creator wants to come back? That's so shitty. But it's the original creator. He's gonna reinvent it from the ground up. This is gonna be so cool, man.
But you also see like other writers at the company go like, this guy's kind of like over the hill. His stuff is old and weird.
Have you read his original stories?
It's full of
really sexist.
That feels like a jab at Stan Lee, because they also bring up nicknames, and it's like, yeah.
Didn't they say he's like joyful something?
Yeah. And what was Stan Lee?
He was
smiling
Stan. And wasn't it Joyful Jack Kirby?
It was Jack the King.
Jack the King, or Jolly Jack is what they referred to him as sometimes too.
Jolly Jack, Jack the King. I think Jack the King was more of like other people.
Oh, and I just remember, didn't he call Ditko something that was kind of derogatory, like Stern Steve?
I mean, it makes sense for Steve Ditko.
Yeah, but still, that's the whole thing of like Stanley, like Ditko was obviously a bit of a dick from the get-go, but Stanley did not help it.
No. But overall, this is really good. If you are interested in the drama of the creative process, this is a good book for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
really
I
good.
would definitely recommend people check it out. It's very good. Art's not gonna blow you away, but it works for the story.
But it's also drawn by Chip Zdarsky. He's pulling
Yeah,
double duty on this, which is I think is cool.
yeah. No, this is clearly Chip's baby.
Yeah.
Like, isn't this his Substack book?
No, don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Thor number 28.
What's happening with the Odinson?
Okay, so here's the thing. This isn't a Thor book.
Okay.
This is, if you're reading Venom, you need to read this Thor book.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Because Ewing came in and was like, "Hey, Kate, can I borrow Thor book for a little bit so I can do more with Venom?"
So I can get an extra issue of story out.
Okay, so last issue, Demon came in with symbiote. Venom pops in and goes like, "Hey, I'm Venom. I'm here to help," and they fight the guy. This issue, the dude has like a fucking symbiote hammer, and they're fighting, dude. They do all this stuff, and it's like, "Oh, we can't beat him. We need to do something else." And Venom goes like, "Well," Eddie goes like, "Well, technically, I'm no longer Eddie, and I'm just a consciousness piloting a symbiote, so I can just be a symbiote." So he goes on to Thor. So now we have Venom Thor.
Oh, goodness. That's going to be a Marvel Legends.
One day, yeah. And so they fight the guy, and because Eddie's the King in Black, and Thor is the God of Thunder, they are now the God in Black.
Hey.
So that's fun. They fight the dude, and because Eddie is an ascended version of a symbiote, he's not hit by thunder or the sonics or any fire, so they are able to use all that stuff on the guy, and he's still able to keep fighting. They do all that stuff. They beat the guy. The symbiote it dissipates, all that kind of stuff. And Thor goes like, "Wow, that was a tough fight." As Venom gets off of him and picks up the devil hammer and goes like, "Huh, I am worthy." And Thor goes, "Fuck, you're not Eddie. You're not Eddie." And the Venom symbiote goes like, "Fuck it, you're right." And he turns into the evil Eddie that Eddie Brock's been fighting in the Venom comic, and he goes like,
Oh my god, that's great. That's a great twist.
and he says like, "Yeah, no, I kind of needed this. You don't know what's going to be happening. It's end of time and a bunch of weird stuff." And Thor goes like, "Bitch, you think yourself a god? I am the king of gods. I am the All-Father. Get the fuck out of here." And he goes like, "Ah, fuck, all right, Jesus. I know where I'm not wanted." And so the evil symbiote thing, oh,
I got it.
yeah. We gotta, oh, Jesus. 3 of them at once. There we go.
It was all the same person.
Yeah, ban it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We had a bot. Don't worry, people.
It happens.
So basically, that remaining symbiote goo from the demon that they were fighting is on the ground, and it seeps underneath. And Thor goes like, "Huh, that's weird. It seeped underneath into the solid rock." And Loki goes like, "What if there's something underneath there?"
Damn it, Nightmare, he said not to.
What if there's something underneath there? And Thor goes like, "Yeah, but there isn't. Solid rock all the way under there." And Loki goes like, "Yeah, solid rock." Because remember, he put Donald Blake under there to be hit by the venom in his eyes for all of eternity without telling anybody.
Oh.
And guess what happens? The symbiote lands on Donald Blake's eyes and protects him from the venom as Donald Blake venoms the character out with the long tongue. So Donald Blake is coming back.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Overall, it is good, but you would be fucking lost if you're not reading Venom.
Yeah, I mean, like, that sounds like an epic issue I would love if I was into this stuff.
And if you're reading Venom and you're not reading Thor, I guarantee you the next Venom issue, you're going to be confused as fuck.
No, Evil Eddie's just going to show up and he's going to say a line, and then there will be an asterisk, and there will be a little box that says, "Go read the last issue of 4."
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what? I think Marvel's coming back into like a shooter era of editorial and continuity, because they're doing this kind of stuff a little bit more of just like they're showing up in random places and they're doing adventures and it's being referenced again. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
And despite all the shit we can that is deservedly the shooter, that was one of the peak eras of Marvel Comics, was the shooter era.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to be talking about Marvel for a second. No. Tell me about Nightwing 97.
All right, so this is picking up right where the last issue left off, with them finding Blockbuster's body, and literally, Nightwing and Melinda Zuko go to like examine the remains, and and Dick's just like, "God damn it, this is not what I wanted." And she's like, "What are you talking about? He's not gonna hurt anyone anymore. He's out of the way. The city can heal now." And he's like, "Yeah, but I wanted him to face justice, because now with him gone, there's gonna be and then slam cut to the title page, Power Vacuum Part 1.
Ooh.
Which I thought was cute. Meanwhile, Salvatore Moroni is being interrogated by Maggie Sawyer and Dan Turpin, and they basically make him realize that, like, oh, Blockbuster is dead. There's no one that's going to protect me. I guess I'm going to have to do a plea deal. Oh, and they're like, yeah, we already knew you would say that as soon as we told you. So, but we can't hold you here because things are going to get a little dangerous pretty soon. So we're going to have you transferred to enter Renee Montoya. She came all the way to the neighboring city to get him, and they're going to transport him in a police convoy the next day. And Nightwing goes home to sleep and check in with Oracle, and he's like, "Hey, we got a big day ahead of us tomorrow." And she's like, "I was kind of thinking maybe we should take a vacation after all the shit we went through in the last issue." And he's like, "Well, we can't. They're transporting Moroni." And she's like, "Yeah, fair enough. But we got to work something out soon, because we've been a couple for like 10 issues now, and we've not done anything actually coupley." So we cut to the next day, and Moroni's being transported, and of course, immediately, Optimus Prime goes psycho and fucking slams into the armored truck. I literally was reading that and I was like, "Oh, hey, that truck kind of looks like Optimus." Whoa, holy shit! But no, there's a big scuffle. They try and escape, but it turns out some of the cops that were in the transport truck are actually dirty, and one of them tries to shoot Moroni, but Nightwing and Batgirl get there just in time, and they grab him, and Montoya's like, "Fucking take him and hide him till Monday, and we'll be ready for him at GCPD headquarters then." And they're like, "All right, bet." And they go into the woods, because apparently there's like 10 miles of woods between Gotham and Bloodhaven. I don't know if that's previously established or not, but it's a thing in this issue. And Batman apparently has free safe houses in there, because of course he does. So they go to one of them and they tie him to a chair and they knock him out, and they go upstairs to the like apartment that's up there, and he's like, and Barbara goes up before him, and Nightwing gets up there, and he's just like, "So you see anything?" And she's like, "I see a bedroom that we're stuck in for 3 days. I think this is the vacation I wanted." And he's like, "But there's a crime boss tied up downstairs." And she's like, "Is that anything new for us?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they have sex.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, Nightwing comes down the stairs and he's like, "Hey, did you sleep well?" And he's like, "Your tranquilizers only last 3 hours. I heard everything. That was the worst night of my life."
Well, it's the best night of mine, so.
Yeah, and I love there's this panel where Barbara is kind of like still getting her costume on as she's coming down the stairs, as Maroni's like looking over his shoulder away from her, and he's like, "I never thought about superheroes and relationships." Shudder. And she's like, "Really? You mustn't." She goes, "Really? You must not spend much time on the internet." But then they look outside because they have to check for bad guys being around, and there's a fucking taxi just in the middle of the woods. And they're like, okay, what the fuck is this? So they go outside with like batons and batarangs at the ready, and from inside the cab is a window balloon that just says, "Hey, Nightwing," and he's like, "What the?" And you walk up, and the final page is, "My name is Rick Grayson. I need you to get in my cab."
Wait, what? No.
I think I'm not sure what's happening here, but I like that Taylor is actually addressing the Rick Grayson thing. Like, I think this might be like Nightwing's gonna have like some kind of mental trip and deal with some identity disorder things. That would be my best guess.
See,
I don't know.
my initial thought was, oh, are they gonna Mike Murdoch this?
That would be fucking hilarious.
Are they gonna Mike Murdoch this?
There haven't been any like really explicitly magical characters in this book yet, so that would be a little unprecedented, but I could get down with it actually.
All right, I read issue 4 of Defenders Beyond.
How was that?
It's fun. It's also a giant like this is what makes Marvel Marvel, and fuck what DC does.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Okay,
like, fair enough, but I think both things work for their respective companies. Shut up, Baka.
Oh no, let me explain. Let me explain. So we open this issue, and they're basically all the characters are basically in an idealized Marvel universe. Like Blue Marvel stops the assassination of JFK. Tigra is loved and beloved as a prominent member of the superhero community. So good and kind is she that she is worthy of holding Mjolnir. America Chavez is around. Her mothers are alive. Her sister is around, and she gets to introduce her sister to all of her new Avengers friends. And Galactus is not the Eater of Worlds. He is the Lifebringer, and his herald is Taya, his mom, and she gets to see what her son can truly bring to the world. And then America Chavez goes, "Wait a second, I feel something on my face," as you see a panel with the Eternity mask.
Wait, something's wrong. I can feel it.
Yeah, literally. And she breaks out of the illusion, and the person who's doing it is the guy on the right-hand side who's been a Silver Surfer character, who is a reality warper. And he's currently in the abyss of concept, essentially. And he's trying to if he has a certain amount of power, he can reboot the world as he sees fits, because he's reality, and he has just enough power, he can reboot the universe. Right? And so he's trying to talk to all these people and go like, "Hey, what if we did a reboot? What if we reboot Marvel Comics, start from the ground up? Everything can be better. Everything can, all the things can be better." And they all go, "No. No, we can't do that. If we did it once, who says we can't do it again and again and again? Because there's always going to be problems. It's never gonna be perfect. But if you keep trying to wipe the slate clean and make it anew, you're just gonna find a new problem. And as soon as you find a new problem, you already bit the bullet once. You're just gonna reboot again. So no reboots."
Wow, I can't believe they made a Marvel comic about my YouTube career.
But that's what it's saying. It's basically like, live with the consequences of life, because if you just try to reboot whenever there's a problem, it's never going to be authentic.
Yeah, And that's a tough lesson. Speaking from experience, that's a tough lesson to learn. I feel like I've only just learned it in the last couple of years, after years of basically being DC Comics the YouTube channel without meaning to.
So basically, they're trying to think of the how we get out of the situation. And America Chavez goes like, "Wait a second, he's been trying to get this Eternity Mask with all this power from me. Oh, he needs the Eternity Mask to do what he wants. All right, cool. He takes off. So America takes off the mask, throws it to Loki, and Loki goes like, "Oh, sweet." Loki also was turned into a tree, so they couldn't manipulate the story. So Loki has the thing now, and they're going like, "Oh, sweet, I can." Let me try and figure out a way to get us out of this situation. And then Cloud and the archetypes show up.
Okay.
Okay, remember how in the first Defenders, just the one that came right before this, there was the universe they went to called the Archetypes, where it's like abstract versions of Marvel characters.
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
So, like, there's a Hulk character, but he has 4 faces that all show different personalities. There's the 4-in-1, which is the Fantastic Four. There's the it's archetypical. Like, if you were to just define Iron Man in, like, 3 words and make that a character. Okay? They show up and basically go like, all right, guys, we're helping you out. We're getting you out of here. And then they basically go like, yeah, no, here's the thing. We're kind of in the same place. This dude is just so swallowed up in what's wrong that he doesn't see what's here in front of him. That technically he is on the cusp of all reality and possibility. But because he is wallowing in the idea that something is wrong and he needs to fix it, he is not seeing what could be. Basically, hey, every person who says they want a reboot, you don't run a reboot because all the continuity makes the stories you like, you dumbasses. Stop focusing on the negative. Focus on what can be.
Yeah.
And then Cloud, they go like, all right, guys, here's the final leg of your mission. Here is the House of Ideas.
Oh, no. You didn't do that. No. Okay.
What? They've been doing that in Marvel.
I know, that's just funny. All right.
Because that's what Marvel used to be called. That was Marvel's nickname.
I know that shit. Don't fucking school me.
But the image of it is beautiful because it's just a simple office New York door. And the brick wall is the Thing. The brick wall has, like, the Thing rocks.
Ah, that's cute.
And coming out from behind it is a bunch of different patterns, and one of them is, like speed lines from an anime, but it's, like, patterns of, like, look at the possibilities. And, like, one of the lines is, like, Captain America's, like, armor, dragon scales, and one of them is, like, spider webs, and there's lightning bolts, and it's just, like, oh, this is just Marvel. And it's just, like, a love letter to Marvel and what makes Marvel Marvel.
Hey.
While also saying, like, hey, Marvel can't be DC and we shouldn't be.
Fair.
In this one issue, and I would say it's subtle for people who don't know, but if you do know it, it hits you like a brick on the head. Because there's one panel where literally Galactus' mom, Taya, Taaia, Taya, basically goes like, if you reboot once, what's to say you can't reboot again because you'll always find problems. And the image behind her is a bunch of Earths in parallel, like Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Fucking Christ, my dude.
It hits you like a brick on the head.
Somebody got real annoyed about Dark Crisis, huh?
Al Ewing did.
Al.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, though, because Al Ewing loves to use continuity in his storytelling, and he would be miserable at DC.
Yeah, probably.
Because he would ask editorial, hey, what's in continuity? Anything and everything. No, specifically, what's in continuity?
What do you want to be in continuity?
No, I don't fucking care what I want to be in continuity. What's in continuity? You don't
everything
have.
since
Do you have
Dark
any continuity
Crisis.
books? Do you have anybody checking any of this shit?
Look, buddy, they barely give us enough money to put the lights on. Don't push your luck. And he just goes, all right, fuck it. The story where Batman got married on the moon of Zorba is canon in my book.
Yeah. We both read Captain America, The Symbol of Truth.
Yeah, this was a solid issue.
Political intrigue.
Yes.
Basically, the country that's north of Wakanda is a interracial country that are trying to basically go like, hey, we're trying to fix a lot of the racial problems in our country with reparations and everything. Could the UN help us out? We're trying to make strides. We're trying to do a bunch of things. And UN goes like, yeah, we'll help you out, essentially. And Falcon's basically being her bodyguard while she's talking to the UN, the prime minister. Then a terrorist attack happens. And she gets killed.
Yeah, it's a big fucking disastrous thing. Feels like a bit of a left turn considering what the last issue was, but also thematically in line. And it just feels like kind of a classic Cap story of him having to protect a big political person and it going awry.
But it also is linked to the last issue because White Wolf then shows up because that's where he's from, that country.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you fools, this is exactly what I wanted.
Time to start a bloody coup.
All right. Guess we're dealing with this now. This is the fucking Henry Bendix of this book. Let's go.
Yeah. But I also have a feeling it also links to like Wakanda and everything. Well, I don't think the Wakanda stuff is dropped. I just think they needed to set that up and then set this up, and then we're gonna see the payoff.
Yeah, it's all gonna circle around itself, I think. Like, I think whatever's happening in the Black Panther book is probably as tied into this as Four's tied into Venom right now.
Also, Reyes gets poisoned.
Yeah. He'll probably get better.
Yeah.
I read a movie.
Yeah, I read Iron Man number 24.
How was that?
Okay, so last issue, the Cobalt Man got the 10 rings.
Mm.
And you're like, oh no. So Tony's just like on the ground going like, shit, fuck, alright, I gotta fight y'all, I guess. And they're just all fucking going like, fuck you, Tony. So he gets his armor on and he goes like, alright, who's fucking first? And so Force, remember Force?
Yeah, I remember Force.
Comes up and goes like, you fucking used me, man. You fucking asshole. And Tony just eviscerates him verbally. Okay, Force was a bad guy. Tony then recruited him to be a good guy for a while. But then they dropped the character for a bit. And then Tony, in this series, recruited him to try and do his whole big buy all the black market weapons out from the black market so we could dismantle them privately. Into that, but he was already working with the bad guys. So Force is basically going like, you wanted to use me, you're an asshole, fuck you, you don't even think about me like anything but like a tool.
You don't know me like that.
Right. And Tony basically goes like, buddy, we're superheroes. We make the hard decisions to do the most good, and then we try to fix our relationships that get broken from it afterwards. The fact that you are not willing to make that commitment means you are the fucking selfish asshole. You are holding yourself back from making the right decisions for the best of mankind. And then
that isn't Tony Stark in a sentence. I don't know what is.
Yeah, it's make the hard decisions for the best good, and if your relationships get fucked, fix it later.
It's almost like Cantwell is just going under his breath. This is why Civil War happened. Tony is like this.
Yeah. And basically Force just goes like there's a panel where he's sad looking. He's like, fuck, Tony's right. I'm an asshole. And the other two bad guys are there and just going like, all right, fuck you, Tony. We're going to fight you. And so he starts to look at Cobalt Man and goes like, all right, fucking use the rings, fight me, whatever. And Cobalt Man starts to like use the power and hits all the bad guys. And Tony and War Machine are going like, what the fuck is going on? And Cobalt Man takes off the helmet, and it's Riri Williams.
Oh.
And Riri goes like, hey, Tony? What's up, bitch? What? What are you here? Well, I've been keeping an eye out for the Mandarin ring so they wouldn't get in the wrong hands and everything. And Tony just goes like, we've been doing that. What are you doing here? And she just goes like, well, I've been working on it. Well, you shouldn't have. Why didn't you tell me about this? Well, why didn't you ask me to help?
Why doesn't somebody fucking send somebody a goddamn email?
Yeah, and basically that's the argument for a little bit. It's like, look, do you trust me? I trust you. Then let me have the ring so I can fucking look at them so we can do good with them. And Tony goes like, no, the rings are bad. We need to dismantle them. And Riri goes like, so you don't trust me? You don't trust me to use these? And he goes like, it's not that simple. And she's like, it can be that simple. You can trust me. And Tony goes like, fine, promise me you'll give me updates. And she goes like, I will give you updates. I don't need to promise you, though. Like, I would have done it anyway, dude. Like,
you would just fucking check the goddamn newsletter.
Like, trust me. It's about trust. We need to work together. Like, yes, you need to make the hard decisions, but you also need to trust the people who are willing to help you. And so Riri flies off, and Iron Man War Machine just goes like, well, that was a fucking time. Guess it's time to go to New York and face all the people I've pissed off.
Hey.
And that's the end of the issue.
That sounds pretty good. How many issues has Cantwell got left?
I don't know. I need to look it up.
I heard he was leaving the book the other day, so...
Then it may be the next issue because the cover is a classic Iron Man being heroic and triumphant over New York. Which, goddamn, can we just say, these Iron Man covers have been the best covers for Marvel for a while.
Oh yeah, they've been some cool-ass shit.
We both read X-Men number 16.
This is just good, solid fun. Continuing on from where we were last issue. The revelation about my boy Darwin did upset me a little bit, but it's understandable.
Here's the thing: they just say he's probably dead. They didn't say anything about he is dead.
And I mean, even then, the 5 exists. The waiting room exists. They can fix this.
Yeah, but we also get some like hints of like, oh, Forge is doing some fucky shit.
Yeah. And Havoc is still a dickhead.
Havoc is a dickhead and confronts Scott, and Scott goes like, I didn't even want you here, bud. I wanted Forge on here so I could figure out what he's been fucking doing, and to spite me, he brought you onto the team.
And then there's a big old fight because they accidentally let one of the people out of the pods. They let the pod people go, and it's good. It's good, solid action. Everybody gets a little something to do. And fucking Laura Kenny is in the timescape thing, even though there's a Laura Kenny out here.
That's gonna be fun to figure out.
What are we gonna call her? Are we gonna call her the you can't believe it from out of nowhere Wolverine?
I have a feeling they're gonna do some weird fucky shit and fuse them. And then Sync. This Wolverine knows what happens with Sync.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
That all those years where they fell in love.
Shit.
Holy shit.
She's got a big gray streak too. This is old lady X-23. Okay,
well, she's not old. She's like in her early 30s.
Yeah, but like this can go places.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be fucking weird.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Duggan.
Thank you, Duggan.
So I saw a couple like weird books that pop up on my feed, and I thought, oh, I'll give them a try. So Above Snakes by Sean Lewis and Hayden Sherman.
Okay.
Is a Western.
Oh shit, I totally forgot. A friend recommended an indie book to me this week that had a new issue coming out I meant to check out. And I'll have to circle back around to that. But no, tell me about Above Snakes.
This is a cowboy book, and basically, the dude on the cover is like classic gunslinger out for revenge, but he has like a ghost vulture that points him in the direction of where to go.
Okay.
And he talks to the ghost vulture, and he's like, "Hey, you need to go here because you need to kill people because I'm thirsty for vengeance blood. I'm thirsty for justice blood." So he goes to a town, and the whole thing is like he's searching for the people who killed his wife and daughter. Right? So one of the people in this town who's been running the whorehouse is basically one of the members of the gang who killed his kid, the Above Snakes gang. They're in, and basically this guy's come into this town and has kidnapped young girls and forced them to be prostitutes at his whorehouse.
Oh boy.
He goes through the whorehouse and all the ladies are like, "Oh, you're gonna kill the fucker? Cool, see ya. Go kill the fucker, please." So so the dude shows up in the room where the guy is basically having his way with a mute woman, and he goes like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And the guy recognizes him. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he starts to run out of the place, and he runs outside, and all the prostitutes are there in front of him, and goes like, "You going somewhere, you motherfucker?" With a knife, and in the knife's reflection is a panel of the dude saying, "Oh no."
That's cool.
Good paneling. Great paneling on this book. Good art. And then the guy comes up behind him because there was a joke earlier and it's like, "Oh, look, it's an asshole." The bird goes like, "Maybe give him 2 assholes." And he goes like, "Up, 2 assholes it is." So he walks up behind him, puts a gun near his butt, shoots and castrates the guy.
Holy shit.
And so the guy just falls down, blood on his crotch, and the guy walks away and goes like, "Ladies, have your way with him."
Damn.
And so all of the prostitutes fucking kill him.
That sounds like a fucking story.
Here's the thing: when he first came into town. Yeah, it's fucking sick. It's good. When he first comes into town, there's a woman tending a fire who basically gave him the story of the town, and he says like, "He took my daughter." But when he got to the whorehouse, they knew he was there. They knew he was coming. And he goes like, "How did they know I was coming?" And he looks off in the distance and he sees the fire. And he goes like, "Son of a bitch. They didn't kidnap his daughter. They didn't kidnap her daughter. They took the daughter that she was pawning off on them, and they gave her a job to basically warn them when someone was coming into town." And so they go out there, and he goes like, "Hey, I got someone for you." And she goes, "What?" And the mute daughter goes like, "What's up?" And she goes like, "Oh, what? It's my daughter." And he goes like, "Yeah, you two probably have some catching up together." And she goes like, wait, no. And the door closes on her little cabin as the guy walks away into the desert. And you don't see what happens.
Damn.
As the vulture, and he basically talks to the vulture and goes like, are you satisfied? And vulture goes like, "I am full of blood. On to the next mission." I only read the first issue, and there's a couple issues out.
This is fucking Cowboy Moon Knight.
This is cowboy hype shit.
Yeah.
It's
this
good.
Is cowboy shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's good.
So you said you read a couple of indie books. I have to ask, did you read Mindset?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because that's the book my friend recommended it to me. It's from a company called Vault Publishing, who I've never heard of before. But he said
I've heard of them.
Yeah, he said there's 4 issues out so far, and it's been like his favorite comic every month that it's come out. So I need to get around to checking it out.
Nice. This is the other indie book I read.
All right, I'm waiting for the stream delay.
Waiting for the stream to show up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't share the camera feed with you. I forgot.
It happens. We were having technical scrimbo bimbos.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks like a Tiffany book.
This is Stillwater. This is
And
written.
I see that fucking name.
It's Chip Zdarsky making a horror book.
All right, I'll bite. What's going on?
Okay, this dude's down on his luck. He gets a letter that says like, "Hey, you need to come to this town. Your aunt died. And you need to do the inheritance thing." So him and his friend go to this town. As they're getting there, no one's heard of it. No one, like, you say, "Hey, I'm going to Stillwater. How far is it?" They go like, "There's no place called Stillwater. It doesn't exist." As they are about
Silent Hill.
Oh, no. They start to get into town, and a deputy pulls him over and goes like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they give him the story, and he goes like, "All right, we don't get many visitors around here, so this is a pretty old-fashioned town. So curfew's 8. Be inside by then. Enjoy your stay at Stillwater." And they get to the town. There's no signs anywhere. So they're completely lost. They go into a diner and they start asking for directions. And they're going like, "Oh, wow, we never get visitors around here." As the friend looks outside and notices 2 kids are on a roof. And one of them shoves another kid off the roof. He falls and dies. Okay. These 2 dudes who just showed up in the town are freaking the fuck out. And no one else is. And they go like,
"Are they seeing things?"
No. You'll see. So they pick up the kid. They run to a doctor and go like, "Dude, this kid just fell. He's alive. We gotta help him." And then the kid just sits up, jumps off the table, and walks away.
Oh, I get it. There's no fall damage in this town.
The doctor goes like, "Boys, you need to fucking get out of here." They walk out of the doctor's office. The deputy's there and goes like, "Y'all seen way too much, kid. You've seen way too much, dude. Beat him up, tie him, because the main characters had a black eye for the beginning of the book, and it's gone now. 5 minutes in the town, and it's gone. So they tie him up, put him in the back of a truck, and they take him outside of this town limits. You might have, hell. They take him outside of the town limits. And as they're sitting there, the guy goes like, "Hey, look, I can't have anybody telling anybody about this town. You see, nobody dies in my town. But if we take you outside of the city limits, I can kill you." So he takes his gun and shoots his friend. And basically but before he can kill the main character, a woman shows up and goes like, "My kid, my child, you're back, you're home." And she hugs the main character, but she can't be more than like 5 or 10 years older than him.
What the fuck?
So I already kind of know what goes on in the book. Do you want me to just spoil it?
Is there more than one issue out?
Yes. I'm reading through back issues. There's like 7 of Stillwater.
Okay.
So every week I'm just going to bring up a Stillwater issue as I'm reading it.
Okay.
Everyone in the town is immortal.
Okay, I kind of could have surmised that.
And they do not age. But this dude was a kid and he left town, grew up, and is back now. And it's basically like a bunch of fucky weird shit.
So this place is just like a demented Neverland then.
Kind of, but there's adults there that don't want to die.
Interesting.
And it's really well written because it is Zdarsky.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
I imagine so.
So yeah, no, those 2 books are going to be kind of like some books I just put in until I finish them, and then I'll just pick a couple other indies.
Cool. Cool. Is this happening just because I yelled at you the other night for not reading enough
Technically,
indie
yeah.
stuff?
And I just really like, you know what? We have a comic books podcast. I want to promote more independent books. Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, cool, fair enough.
And here's the
Hopefully I
thing:
can get the mindset
you
down.
talk about Saga all the time.
Yeah. God, when's the next fucking issue of Saga gonna come out? I've missed that book so much recently.
Everyone said it just comes back. Yeah. I also read Midnight Suns.
How was that?
They fight Doctor Doom for a little bit, and then Clea shows up and goes like, "All right, cool. I'm trying to avert the apocalypse. The 5 of you were there. If I put you in another dimension so you can't be there during the apocalypse, we avert the apocalypse." So she sends the Native American Ghost Rider, Blade, Wolverine, Nico, and Magic to fucking the Dark Dimension. As Agatha Harkness is talking to the zombie girl and going like, "Hey, I've been through something like this before. Let me help you."
I have to ask, does Ileana just have a moment of like, oh god damn it, not this again?
Pretty much. They're pretty much in the Dark Dimension. That's the final panel. And they're just like, fuck, we gotta find a way to get out of here.
Okay.
And I think they say, "Ileana, can you pop us?" And she's like, "Nope, we're not in limbo."
It doesn't work that way, bud.
Yep. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's lighthearted supernatural action.
Neato.
Hold on. You read One Bad Day Penguin.
Yeah, this book sucked.
Oh no.
Like, I'm not even gonna front. I thought this book was really stupid because it takes place in a future where Penguin has been kicked out of Gotham because his assistant who held his umbrella for him took the criminal organization out from under him and got him blacklisted in Gotham, and now he's back and he's trying to retake it, and it's meant to be like a fun kind of mob story of like, oh, him meeting up with old acquaintances and being like, hey, we were really good together, but you betrayed me, but you could work for me again. And there's a couple scenes like that, and they're all like really stupid and obvious. And then they are going to, after he's accrued a few people, he's going to retake the Iceberg Lounge from Umbrella Man, who is just a black dude in a white suit. And Batman shows up, and there's like been this whole through line of since Penguin left, crime in the city has gotten way worse, and Batman's had to like be really selective about, he's had to pick his battles basically, and Montoya's not happy about it. And then Batman goes to confront Penguin because he's like, hey, you're gonna start a mob war, don't fucking do that, I've got enough problems. And Penguin goes like, oh, you little bitch, you didn't realize. I was the one holding back all the mob craziness. I kept Gotham in check. Yeah, things were bad, but they could have been way worse. Look at how they are now. You weren't the hero. I was the hero. And if you want proof, just leave me alone for the rest of the night and see how much easier your life gets tomorrow. And then Batman just fucking leaves and lets him go about his shit. And I'm like, no, fuck you. Batman wouldn't do that. Batman wouldn't believe that at all, and I don't believe that at all. This is bullshit just to try and prop the Penguin up. And he of course goes and retakes the Iceberg Lounge, and I don't think we see the direct results.
I agree with Hell. It feels like they're trying to make the Penguin the Kingpin.
Yeah, and it just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Because that sounds like a Kingpin story.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Penguin having a lot of control over mob and trying to make it more of a legitimate business, but I don't like the idea of him controlling all of the mob shit in Gotham. Like, he's got his own little territory, like Salvatore Maroni or Carmine Falcone does. And there's even a little bit of a flash forward where it's like he's got fancy duds on again, and the lady who was kind of his I forget the technical term, but the character who asks him questions so he can say exposition. Oh, he's ride along character for most of the book. She's in a nice position again, And she's like, well, what are you going to do now? And he's like, well, I guess I better talk to him real quick. And Batman's out on the balcony of the Iceberg Lounge, and they come to an agreement again. And Batman's like, so what happens now? And Penguin's like, well, business as usual. Wah, wah, wah. And I did not like this one at all. This is the worst of the One Bad Days so far.
Yeah, that this is totally a Kingpin story, because like that's a Batman wouldn't, Daredevil would.
Mm-hmm. It's just not a story that works in the DC universe, in my opinion.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Hopefully the next one will be good. I think Bane is next month.
We both read X-Force number 33. I shouldn't have read this because it spoils AXE.
Oh wow, okay. Quick thought though, I just realized if Mr. Freeze isn't the December issue, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But yeah, X-Force, no, I really like this issue. There was a lot of fun interplay, good wrap up to this arc. I like the place we leave Kraven in after this.
Where he's basically going like, I'm gonna go fight random heroes who need a good way to die and prove their justification for living.
I'm just gonna go have Kraven's last hunt for everybody.
Which, you know, for a fucking clone character, why not?
Yeah.
He's the son of Kraven.
Yeah. Also, I really liked everything with Deadpool this issue. This is the first time in a few months I found Deadpool really funny.
Because he's trying to be serious and is just like light jokes in between the serious.
Mm-hmm. That's how Deadpool should be. Like Deadpool knows he's in a serious situation, but he's trying to lighten it up.
Because like they go like, hey Deadpool, how quick are you to 100? Well, I got this vegan body right now, so I can kind of function. And he reveals like the 5-year-old body, like a newborn body that he's growing underneath the fucking suit, and he goes like, I am like 10% though.
Yeah, and then later in the issue, he has to fucking crawl away like a fucking escape pod, and it's hilarious.
Oh no, that's not the best part. It's like everything's falling apart, and he just looks at Wolverine and goes like, hey, look, I kind of didn't do anything other than being comedic relief. Uppies.
Yeah. X-Force is doing real good right now.
Yeah, X-Force is good. I like Red Omega on the team.
I do too. He's proved his usefulness.
As basically Wolverine's Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Also, we got to see a bunch of dinosaurs, so that's always a good time.
Definitely.
We both read Batman the Night, issue 10 of 10.
Yeah, this was really good. Good solid wrap up, leaves Bruce in a place that like I can believe he becomes Batman from here on out, and you don't need much more guidance. I love the bit at the end where he reunites with Alfred. My only criticism would be just like I was kind of expecting there to be a moment that's like, and this is where Damian happens, but I guess not.
Yeah, we did turn you into a nerd. Haha.
That's how this works.
Get
we
fucked.
Slowly indoctrinate. We indoctrinate through osmosis here.
I genuinely enjoyed this whole thing.
Yeah, like I don't feel like this is going to be must read, but it's really good setup for Zdarsky's interpretation of Batman. Like if you were to read these 10 issues before you read his main Batman run, I feel like it would flow pretty well.
I also feel like this is it gives a character explanation of why Batman can do all the things he does. He helps out the Justice League and does all that stuff, but he still focuses on Gotham. Because if he focuses on one thing instead of everything, he doesn't get overconfident in himself and believe that he can change. Like, he doesn't get an ego about it.
Yeah. And I also really like, just in sort of like a writer sense, I like that Zdarsky doesn't do any explicit like big Batman origin moments in this, but he invokes one with the covers of obviously the moment of the bat bursting through the window and Bruce going, yes, I shall become a bat. Like,
yeah.
clearly that probably happens somewhere in between scenes here, but you don't need to see it.
They also did a really good job of making this bat look scary, because normally bats don't look frightening.
Yeah. Bats are little fluffy boys. I've seen some bats up close.
But overall, good little issue. Good.
Solid mini or maxi or whatever you call a 10.
I don't know. I always consider mini series 6, and I consider graphic novel 12. Because I'm going off of like, Watchmen.
Yeah.
Watchmen's like a graphic novel. Like, Marvel DC, I don't like how you basically went like, oh yeah, these 40 to 50 issue pages, they're graphic novels. No, that's a novella. Watchmen's a graphic novel. It takes you some time to pore over it and read it.
Definitely.
But that is the last issue we read this week.
We did it. We did the comics.
We did it. Yay!
In spite of technical difficulties, we made it to the end this week.
And the real comics were the friends we made along the way.
Indeed.
Things are being a little scuff real quick for a second.
Oh.
Yep, we're good.
Okay. All right.
We should be good.
Well,
We should be good. So hey, Back, you want to tell the people about Junk and Facts?
Yeah. Hey, I'm the
Fact
vacuum
facts?
I make YouTube videos. I'm gearing up for a return. Hopefully, maybe by the end of next month. We will see how that flows. Right now, we've got modular stuff to take care of first. But in the meantime, check out my backlog at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. I make video essays about tokusatsu. I'm also on Twitter at thevacuuminator, tweeting and twatting about every little thing. And I'm on Instagram posting action figure photography.
Nice.
At
Hold on.
Vacuuminator.
I'm having a technical difficulty and I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a little goofy.
Okay.
Stop. Hold on. I'm trying to do something real quick. There we go. Boom, baby. There we go. There we go. Everything should be good now. All right. Hey, I am Boingo Writer. Would you like to see some variety Twitch streams over on twitch.tv/Boingo Writer? You can do that. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays as long as I can. Would you like to see a variety of social media platform videos and stuff and whatnot? Twitter, you follow me at Boingo_Writer on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you would like to see video essays and editorials and a variety of content of such, including Gateway to Geats, a weekly review and analysis of Kamen Rider Geats as it's coming out, you can go follow me on YouTube. Search for Boingo Writer. Link in the description as well. But in the meantime, this has been Modular Media's No Price Podcast, the podcast where we talk Marvel Comics, movies, merchandise. I do have a TikTok, Boingo_Writer. I say that every week.
Yeah, hell, what? You're not paying attention to the show? Watch the product, brother.
I say I have a TikTok every single week. But this is No Price Podcast where we talk comics and nerd shit. We also have another podcast where there's nerd shit. You want to tell the people about Twit?
This Week in Toku is where myself and Buster discuss all the new news and releases from the wild world of Japanese special effects. Tune in this week. It's a big one. We got big episodes of Geats and Don Brothers airing this week. Decker is going to have his final form debut, and Kamen Rider Outsiders is kicking off. There's a lot going on. So
Nice.
Should be a good one.
We also have another podcast called Components. Tune in on Fridays to see me, Vac, Buster of Buster Core, and Snowcone of my friend Snowcone, just hang out and shoot the shit.
Mm-hmm. So this week we have a big announcement that we totally gave away at the start of the show.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Yes.
So hey, if you like this or any of those podcasts, give us a follow, give us Give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, give us all the things to help in the algorithm. It really helps us out. And in the meantime, Vac, do you have anything else you want to say?
I would like to see the Planet Eater.
You will. In a few weeks.
Okay.
Enough said.